What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Christine. If you're new here, this is Conscious and Cute, where I love to post about zero waste, sustainability, self-care, and lots of other fun stuff. And today, as you can see, I am dancing in my kitchen because I need to clean this dirty kitchen. It's really bad and it's much needed, so I thought I would film it for you guys because some of you really liked my bathroom video. So let's get into it. I started by gathering all of the supplies that I needed to clean today. So most of my cleaning supplies for the kitchen are actually pretty sustainable already because it's the room I clean the most for obvious reasons. And there was my cat. So I started out by removing the recycling and everything that was getting picked up that day. And I was gonna bring some things to the recycling as well. Here you can see our toaster was kind of in need to be decrumbed, so I took it over to the sink, and we have these handy dandy little things that contain all of the crumbs, but I've found that usually you kind of have to shake it, put it upside down as well, shake it that way to really get everything out and get it clean. And I do this just every once in a while to make sure nothing is burning in there. And yeah, our toaster has been lasting pretty well, so I think that has been helping for sure. And then I'm just cleaning it off a little bit because the stainless steel does leave fingerprints, which I don't really like, but besides that, it's a really good toaster. As you can see, it's a lot of crumbs that come out, and it hasn't been that long actually. And then I'm also cleaning the little mat that's underneath the toaster. That does catch a lot of the crumbs, which keeps my floor cleaner. Yeah, and then I'm putting everything back where it belongs. Next up is our microwave, which desperately needed to be cleaned. I'm just choosing a lemon to use the peel because I put the peel into some water in a bowl, and then alongside that water I put in some natural vinegar, and then you just put that in the microwave, turn on the microwave and let that simmer for a while, and then the steam basically gets off all the grime in your microwave, and it's so easy to clean it up afterwards. And I have done this for a few years now. I haven't cleaned my microwave any other way because seriously, this is so easy. So here you can see I'm just putting it in the microwave and turning it on for about 2 minutes. Then I decided to clean out some of the jars I have been hoarding in the kitchen as well. So these are all jars that I still want to keep and want to reuse, and I have a box for them in the hallway. Then I'm just cleaning up some things that are sitting in my kitchen so I can get started on the cleaning. As you can see, our water kettle is doing pretty well because we just recently got a water descaler. Yeah, it doesn't look that pretty, but it's really handy. And then I put the microwave on for another 2 minutes because it wasn't quite done. And I started to gather everything off the floor. So I'm just cleaning off some of our recycling bins because they've gotten a little bit dusty. And then I'm just removing everything else that's on the floor so I can easily start cleaning the floors later on. And then here's just putting away some of our dishes that have been drying. I'm putting the racks in the sink to put them away for later, and removing the bins as well because the bin really needed to be cleaned. I hate it because it's just really not easy to clean it in this little tiny sink, but you know, it had to be done. And then the microwave is pretty much done, so I started wiping off the surfaces, which goes so easily. So I really went in there, got all the nooks and crannies. So especially underneath the plate, I take everything out, cleaning that off separately. And then as you can see, it all just comes off so easily. And also don't forget to do the top part of your microwave, because I think a lot of people forget that things splash up there, and you know, you really need to clean that top part. So here's me just getting literally every little single thing in there, and honestly it makes such a difference because everything smells nice afterwards. And because you're using the natural vinegar and the lemon, it just smells really nice and fresh and natural. After that, I just cleaned off the surface around the microwave, and I started cleaning off the windowsill, which is where we keep things like our water can and our compost bin, so it does need to be cleaned quite regularly. And then I went over it with some cleaner as well. I just went over it with water first. And then my cat decided it was a perfect time to sit on my perfectly clean windowsill. But yeah, that's just the usual for us. Then I put the compost bin in the dishwasher because it is dishwasher proof. It's a little small bin and it was almost full, so I put in some other stuff and put that on. We currently use eco washing tablets because I'm not really ready to like make my own washing liquid or something like that, but these are eco and they work quite well, so we've just been using these. And we don't need any salt because we do have the descaler installed on our water tap. And then I put everything back into the microwave, so the little wheels and the plate, I put everything back inside. And then I cleaned off the outside of the microwave as well, so the handle and the buttons. And then I put the racks to the side because I needed to wash a few things. So here I'm washing our cooling rack, which does get quite dirty actually. And then I'm putting that out to dry, and I'm washing the outside of the compost bin, which doesn't get too dirty, so I just hand wash that quickly. And then I'm getting started on my garbage can. I really don't want to do this because I hate this. It always splashes on me. But yeah, I'm just washing the lid and then really getting into the cracks because it does get super nasty. And then putting that out to dry and trying to rinse out the can itself, which is really not easy, but I'm making it work. And then I'm just kind of trying to get in there and get it clean. And I really got it clean this time, so I'm hoping I won't have to do it again soon. And I'm just using like an all-purpose detergent here. It's also eco and it's almost empty, so I'm getting it refilled at the zero waste store. And I'm also cleaning the outsides and trying to rinse it off, and I'm just letting it dry here. And then I'm also putting out the foil that we keep because I bring those to the recycling park. Yeah, you can do that. So clean foil you can bring to the recycling center. Then I'm putting everything that was still left on the floor up on the counter so I can clean the floor. So that's my dog's food and stuff like that. I'm just putting everything up. And then there's my cat again. And what doesn't go on the counters, I just put in the hallway quickly. And then I start vacuuming, which is such an important step because we do collect a lot of dust in this kitchen. Don't ask me why. And I'm just vacuuming the entire kitchen. And honestly, at this point, I really wish I had a Dyson because this vacuum is really bulky and it's not handy to use at all in a small kitchen. Well, it's not a small kitchen, but I don't have a lot of room to move with a vacuum. So I'm just vacuuming the cobweb in the corner of the room there, which again, not handy with such a big vacuum. And I was really tired apparently. And then I took some all-purpose cleaner and I started cleaning the outside of the cabinets and the outside of the oven and stuff like that. These honestly don't get enough love and I kind of neglect them, so I really went in this time, tried to get them as clean as possible. Oh, there's my dog. She doesn't make many appearances, not as much as my cat, but that's my dog Lexi. And here I'm just cleaning the other cabinets and really getting in there because dang, there were some nasty stains on there. Like, I don't know how I don't notice these in daily life. And I was also getting the, what are they called, like baseboards of the kitchen, because honestly I don't think I've ever cleaned those before, if I'm real, but I cleaned those too, and then the sides of the kitchen island as well. Okay, so sorry if you just got nauseous by that image, but I filmed that really badly. So I'm just cleaning the outsides here, and then some things on the wall that got dirty as well, clean those too. Also important, if you have a dog or a cat that has like these standards for the pet bowls, you really have to clean that. Don't forget to clean that, and I cleaned out her bowl as well. And then I started to dry off the bin because it was getting in my way and I wanted to get it off the counter, so I dried it off real quick. I got my bucket ready to fill it with hot water and some all-purpose cleaner. I'm using the same cleaner. Oh no, actually I'm using a different one. That's why I showed you. I'm using this different one which I had laying around. It's from Ecover, but it smells nicer, so that's why I like using it on the floors. And I have this Veleda mop thing which I've had for years, but it's quite handy because you can wring out your, what's it called, mop, I guess. But yeah, I really like using it. It's super handy. And then I decided to go over the floor once, but then afterwards I went over it again. But here's me doing the first pass over the floor, and here's my cat trying to ruin it already after one coat, and it was still wet too. Like, that's just so typical. But I just go over the floor, like really trying to scrub it in. And yeah, honestly, the water that came out was pretty dirty, so I should probably do this more often. But honestly, I just don't want to get my bucket out for such a small space, because it's basically, besides the bathroom, which is also super tiny, the only tiling we have in the apartment, because the rest is hardwood floors. So it's really annoying to get it out just for the kitchen. And I'm just letting it dry here, because at that point I hadn't decided to do the second pass. And oh yeah, here I'm putting in a new bin bag, putting everything back, because again, I hadn't decided to do the second pass at that point. And I'm just putting some other stuff back on the floor. So I'm putting my dog's bowl back, giving her some water. And then here's me realizing how dirty the water is that came off the floor, and thinking, maybe I should do a second one. So I'm just rinsing the mop and getting it clean so I can do another pass over the floor, and that's what I'm doing here. But then I decided to kind of work in a different direction, so the spot at the sink would be the last, so I could work at the sink while the floor was drying, because I didn't want to wait until it was dry. So I'm working my way towards the sink here. And then I had to clean off my feet, because obviously they were wet at this point. And then I'm just cleaning out the sink, which is honestly my favorite part. I use vinegar and baking soda, which I get at the bulk store. And I just sprinkle the baking soda, then I use some vinegar, and then it all starts to fizz. But then I add some more baking soda so I can really get in there and scrub it. And for the stainless steel sink, or I don't know if it's like stainless steel or whatever, but it works great on this, and you really get it clean like that. And then I also used some of the leftover vinegar and lemon water to really get the sink smelling nice, and also, in my opinion, feels like it kind of helps with the drain, but I'm not sure if that's just my imagination. And then I'm putting all of my cleaning supplies back, and getting the counters empty so I can clean them off, and I'm gonna steam them this time. And y'all know, if you've watched my bathroom cleaning video, I love steaming. This is such a good purchase, and it wasn't even expensive, and it works really well. I'm just clearing some of the crumbs off first before I get going with my steamer, and then I spray on some, I think it was like a leftover degreasing spray, but that's finished now, and I'm probably gonna be making my own DIY spray, so stay tuned for that. And then I'm just cleaning off the countertop and my furnace, and I also tried it on the walls. It didn't really work. Good to know that it doesn't. Didn't really break my wall either, but yeah, didn't really get anything off. And then honestly, this was the best part, because I haven't cleaned my counter like this in ages, and it just felt so nice. I had to cut out some pieces, because honestly this went on for so long. I was really enjoying this. But yeah, I got it pretty clean. I still have some markings that won't really go off, because it's a stone. I probably should have taken better care of it. But you know, hindsight is 2020. So yeah. And then here I am just clearing off everything, drying off the counter with a clean towel, putting everything away. Honestly, this is such a fun part. Just putting everything back together. Also, yeah, at this point I realized I hadn't cleaned my oven, and my oven is probably the dirtiest part in the kitchen. So I decided it would probably be a good idea to use my steamer on the oven. And honestly, I don't know if it was a good idea. It's probably, yeah, it was a good idea. It took ages, but it's probably the cleanest it's ever been since I moved in here. And then I wanted to try to steam like the little rack that was in there, but it wasn't working. And then lastly, I put the little filters from the ventilation hood in the washing machine to clean them. And here's the end results. My kitchen, super clean. Honestly, I love it like this. I wish it would be this clean always, but honestly it's not. It's never this clean. But I am planning to keep it a little cleaner from now on. So yeah. Oh, if you're wondering, those bags are just excess snacks, because we don't have enough room for snacks, and As we all know, snacks are essential, so we're just keeping them in those bags over there. If you have any like fun storage ideas, please let me know because we need help. But yeah, here's what it looks like, and this is the finished result. So if you enjoyed watching this, please let me know by giving me a big thumbs up and subscribing. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys. Bye!